Right, it's the 23rd of August 2026. Just want to update you on a few things. It's not exactly the spirit world doesn't realise this person's turned against me, or this person has been stopped from having communication or friendship. It's been upsetting the spirits, because it's going back. We've had quite a lot of this going back from about 2 weeks ago and before, happening on quite a regular basis. There's quite a few recordings that I've done of this. This all began in June, just straight in the time period where they put like a safeguarding on me because of stuff I put on the internet regarding the name Ella that I saw on one specific day in January. And this brings us up into this story, unfortunately. I've been looking for future replacements, but there isn't. They're all scammers and I'm fairly fucked off. But right, I located a track three nights ago when I was pissed. I didn't know what the track was. I've never heard it before, but it's definitely an excellent track that I liked on first listen, and I said the second night's a 10 out of 10. The track is called Swift and Zinc. Let me get that thing up a minute. I got it on there just to make things a lot simpler, and I can give you the other tracks that are on the actual record itself. Hold on a second. So it's Swift and Zinc, Volume 6. The first track's called Crazed, spelled with a K, and that's my favourite track and the one that I located on that night and got into it straight away. And on the B-side of the record you got a track called Relentless, and side B2 is The Sweetest Thing. Going back to Crazed, the second night after I located the track, I noticed halfway through the track that it says Ella 3 times. Right, nothing much else occurred when it came to that track, and didn't really play that much, not last night, if at all. I can't remember, because I was listening to other stuff. At what time was it today? Sometime early afternoon. I was just on the internet, Facebook and other places, and obviously I only had a couple of icons up, so I only had like a Facebook, the Google search, and something like eBay. Well, out of the blue, YouTube pops up for no reason at all, in a paranormal way, or if it's not a paranormal way, it's unusual that that's occurred. And when it came up, it just went straight onto that track, Crazed, but without me loading the page up. So I thought, this is interesting. But at the time that occurred, see if I've got the writing still up. Hang on. Yeah, at the time that occurred, I was basically writing, stating the day's problems and saying that it's not possible to go with the Ella, or that it's been put through, and then that pops up on YouTube, and then we have some more paranormal experiences. At 5 o'clock, I was doing something. I need to remember what it is. I might have it on Facebook just to check it. So I was doing, and it came up on. Yeah, I put the wedding anniversary tape covers together to match in the single tape covers to the Mission Control and the wedding anniversary and the Sound of Summer. and I was doing that, and then I sort of was something else I did. I can't remember what it was. I deleted it off. It was basically me thinking that, you know, that it's not possible to go with Ella, and someone outside or something like that happened and said, what was it? Write it down. I'm not doing well, am I? On the other piece of paper. Fucked it up. You lost Ella, said. That was outside. There's nothing left, said. And then 5 p.m, just after 5 p.m, the light flickered. But at the time it flickered was interesting because I was listening to Dance Trance Kenny Ken, Mission Control 2nd of the 4th 1994 mix. But the interesting thing about this, when that light flickered, it was not done in an electrical, how do I put it? Not an electrical current fault. There's another word I could use which is better, but I'm going on top of my head at the moment. It was like in a paranormal way. It's the same way it occurred going back about a month or so ago when we had, on the day when the oven was rattling, the tray was rattling in the oven. Not recently, but a bit before recently. Can't remember when it was. Well, while I was listening to the Kenny Ken mix, we come into a track called DJ Panic Revelation, on Hardline Recordings, which was released on January the 1st, 1994. So it's a 1993 track, basically. We're in that track, halfway through the track, you have a drop out or a breakdown part or whatever you want to call it, which sounds like a church organ. It was straight as it went into that sound in that specific track on that mix I was listening to. That's when the light flickered. Also taking into account the bit I said before that with the threat that was outside when I mentioned the Ella section. Incidentally, after DJ Panic Revelation on that Mission Control mix, you got Swift and Zinc, a track called Refuse, spelled R-E-F-U-Z-E. Were there, that's volume 5 of their releases to number 6. Number 6 is the one that I located 3 days ago that I've already mentioned. With there's a girl, I keep forgetting the title on a second. Yeah, Crazed. I thought it was, just didn't have it on the top of my head then. Not doing too well today, I feel a bit not with it. Well, the thing is, this track, halfway through the track, says Ella. I made a documentary yesterday when I was out at Bridport discussing that God has messed up, the media has messed up, the religious suggestions, the spiritual uncoverings, the animal voice sounds before 2 months ago, the psychic reading in March, everything where it concerns that person, and the 250 plus music tracks that have got her name in it, or suggestion to her name, with my name, the MCing, saying that Justin's going to be with that person when he's 45 is also through, the layout of the football matches going time into May next year, which is all through, but obviously it's been messed up. Her name's a godly name as well, by the way, meaning similar to what Jesus means, but in female person, as a, I don't know how to word it, but it's a name that's religious on like love and purity and honest and caring and all that sort of stuff, the light, you know whatever in Christianity, religion. So I was mentioning this yesterday, and it's still happening this minute in time, with the paranormal experiences of today and the location of that track the other day that I'd never heard before. You cannot go into a suggestion of a future prediction of me going with Ella when it's already been put through. It's already taken. It's already gone. I've also got safeguarding because I didn't like posts I put on Facebook before June 2026 or July, whenever it was. If it is God or connections to God to make me go with her or whatever in the near future or whatever, then you may as well say that the wrists are sliced or everyone's cut their throat. But there's always things like replacements. Has God ever thought of replacements? You know, replacement people, like a nice Asian person, because they look like they're only about 18 when they're about 45, 50 when it comes to the Asians, because they got like a cleaner appearance than the people in the UK. So this is what God didn't think about in the making of the creation, or even whoever's noetic science. They say that noetic science technology cannot fuck up. It cannot mess up. It can't go wrong. So when they pre-make futuristic jungle tracks to display your life 30 years down the line, make sure that noetic science really is 100% accurate. Because I can tell you now, 8 months since I last saw her, and I only saw her on that one day, and in the last couple of days, there's still influence in the media, the mainstream, the music industry, and other suggestions coming out to still apply that I'm going with that person when it's already through and it's already fucked up. I've already mentioned this on Facebook, that it's fucked up. So why is this continuing? Why is this suggestion ongoing, continuing, making the suggestion that I'm going with that person? I was mentioning this yesterday on a kind of conspiracy documentary. You cannot go with someone that's already in a relationship. You cannot go with someone that's got where you've got safeguarding on that from that person because of the age difference and because they see her vulnerable because she's a younger age lady with a big age gap. This is people in authority, mainly moan about posts on Facebook that I put going back. How can you... God doesn't turn. So how has this all happened? But what I will say is animals have been saying this as well. That I'm going with Ella until 2 months ago, where there's been a violent change in the voice sounds, like it was before. 2025 was the last time it sort of really bad at times, but 2024 was really bad. But it's like voice sounds say, knife Justin, kill Justin. You go into the fire of hell because you turned against Ella, even though you haven't. God has a different view on this situation. God doesn't have an intelligence as such. The forces of nature seems to be corrupt. So where's the replacement then? Because there's going to have to be a replacement if that person is from the godhood to suggest or unfold in this sort of way. Because it's starting to annoy me now, because obviously it's making it sound like I'm going to be with her when I'm not, and it goes against me because I've not had anyone in my life, and also other things that happened to me when I was a child. It's got to be sorted out because I'm not accepting nothing at all in my whole fucking life. So something's going to have to replace it. But with scammers everywhere and people on their smartphones only going with people on their fucking smartphones friends list when they split up, with all these perverts getting desperate for the younger age ladies, you don't fucking stand a chance. This has got to be someone who's isolated, that doesn't have any friends hardly, possibly doesn't use a smartphone but maybe just uses a laptop. This is how difficult it is. I will say something, she applied, I didn't ask a question, but Ella did apply that she was single on that specific day, even though she had rings and bracelets and a watch on her hand, or on her wrist or whatever. February, I was told by this is in the early days when they were a lot more moody with me. They've been right up moody with me until roughly the end of July, where things start to turn a bit more calmer when it comes to the people in authority. But in February, it basically told me that she's with someone. That's how I found out. However, the day England lost the World Cup, the morning of that day, I thought I saw her with a boyfriend to confirm the issue. Not 100% sure, but I think. And it's the same evening, there was threats outside to say that I'm being fucking murdered, and it got quite nasty and all the rest of it. But there's also been people saying that you'll have to wait until so-and-so's a certain age and grown up, and you have to go over. Nothing we can do about it, there's no one left. The problem is, the person they're on about, they've put it in a different storyline just to make it sound like, so I don't, I've got to do it like this because it could cause offence. But for example, say there's a teacher that's male, that's in charge of that person, or is that daughter of that person, or whatever, and then you've got, say, the mother, who's the other teacher that really hates you, with a background, or more in a family background, who hates you on that side. Just to make it a bit more simple, what I'm trying to say, with that daughter being more connected to the mother, with a serious type accent at a young age, when the male teacher was to die, for example, the whole friendship would collapse, and you would no longer see that the female teacher, or anything on that side, and nor would anyone else. It'd be a complete cut off. Now, I've had to word it like that because I can't word it any other way in case I cause offence. Otherwise, for specific people, whatever. Everything's been looked at. When I mentioned that it's not possible to go over anything, or everything's fallen through, everything has been taken into account. I mentioned this on yesterday's recording. After the age of 11, the ones that are not grubby looking, when it comes to family or relatives or whatever, although there's not many in family, it's all deeper down to people that hate me. They're all in relationships, and once they split up, they go with the next person that they know in person or in their smartphone. When they sort of reach the age of about 14 onwards, they tend to stay together permanently, and then at legal age of consent they're a mother, and everyone's a mother by the age of 23. This is why I've been looking for Asians and people from Japan, China and other places, possibly America, where they're a bit more open-minded, not living in a basically one-way-minded thinking sort of thing, where they're sort of, their minds, how do I put it, like they're in their own world of people, and they don't come out of that world, don't branch off or open their horizons or look above that. And when they're stuck in that thing, what you call it, their world of people thing, they can only make friendship with those people, and they won't make friendship or give anyone else out of that circle of friends the chance to make friendship, to get a partner or girlfriend or anything like that. The other thing I want to mention is, many people told me you have to get a prostitute. You can't get a prostitute because they ain't doing it anymore, and also they won't give raw sex, and some only give blowjobs. The next thing I want to mention is the nearest prostitute, while looking on the internet going back several years ago now, and once at the beginning, no, late last year I think it was, just as a backup plan. London was the nearest, and the only ones that are doing it, if they're sexual looking, are Asian or Chinese or whatever. All the ones that are white tend to be at least the age of 50, and they're all the grubby type, but claiming that they're very hot, because obviously their minds are stupid today. Even going back to 2015, there were no more than 20 prostitutes within a 200-mile radius of Somerset, basically. Viva Street, even in 2015, you had times where there's none at all on there. So, but even these people, one of the Chinese, I think she was age 22, I spoke to her about 10 years ago, just in a conversation, just as friendship, but she was a prostitute. She said, no, they won't give you sex in the way you want it. They say if you want sex in that sort of way, you have to do it with a partner. And obviously being a bit more intelligent than most of the people out there, she was saying that it's not like it used to be. Even she had the intelligence to know that. She said that people work different today, and they're not willing to, sell their bodies, and saying that most won't even have body connection touch. So it is a lot different. And obviously I mentioned the age gap and all the rest of it. She says herself, because she's not British, you see, but she's come into the UK. She has no problem at any age, as long as the person's clean looking. So she'll go up to people if they're in their 50s or 60s or whatever. But when we came into the discussion, when I was speaking to her, going back about a decade ago, she was agreeing with me that people are moaning about the age gap, just so that they're just as fussy, or if not more fussy, when they're a prostitute than they are if they're a single person trying to get with you. But the thing is, through time when I was using these dating sites, anyone I was adding were just getting shitty with me with a nasty accent, really violent accent, attitude. The only ones that are actually friendly are those scammers. I was mentioning a lot of this to like the age gap and all the rest of it, and they say there's love that counts, isn't it? And sort of, it's not, to whoever I speak to, some are not actual scammers, but they're trying to scam you, if you get what I'm saying, because they're already in a relationship with someone or trying to get money out of you. Yeah, that's basically that. There's literally nothing at all. 2025, between July 2025 and February the 14th, 2026, I made more friends with a female that are single in that time period than I've known in my whole life to be single. Before that time, I've only ever known 7 single females, that includes school days, to July 2025. How this has happened, I do not know, but each and one of those, and some of the people on the internet, and some that I don't even know properly, because you can't call them friends, but just general people that you think that you might try and get friendship with later on or whatever. Roughly about 40 people in total. Some have been made pregnant, and each and every one of those have been taken. In just that time period since the 14th of just January, so not what I said now, 14th of January, not February, till now, which is the 23rd of August 2026. So how that's happened, I do not know. Both online and in person, everything is through. All possibilities are through. All future possibilities are through, apart from Ella. But the likelihood, if she's got a boyfriend, she's going to be made pregnant, and with a safeguarding or whatever, because of the stuff that I put on Facebook being misinterpreted or whatever, all this needs to be replaced, because I'm not happy, especially when they've got commercial tracks that have been pre-made a couple of years ago, claiming I'm going to be in a relationship with this person, and I'm not very, very fucking happy about it, because It's not coming true, and I don't want people thinking I'm in a relationship with that person when I'm not. So I've basically been sexually murdered by Christ. This is the problem, then her name's like hinted in 250 jungle tracks. All the stuff I listen to, all my favourites, I know right through about near enough of my whole life. So yeah, gets better and better, doesn't it? I mean, how do I put it? I mean, there's a small chance it's possible, but I don't know. I have a clue. I don't know. But I think it might have to be this Ella. I'm thinking might have to be replaced. I'm 90+% sure that if that was going to be the outcome, with a suggestion of the future predictions, or CIA predictions, or FBI predictions, or elite predictions in the system and the media and all the rest of it. You know, with the mind being corrupted by the social system, the education system, and even the media, as I mentioned, in other sections of the media, this is putting people, it's turning people against me, or causing this to happen. And because people are very dry and sarcastic and sort of got that middle class, upper class, in Somerset in particular, seem to be like that. It's causing everybody to turn nasty, and this is why any friendship can't take place. Even if you ask someone, can we be friends on Facebook? When I was messaging that about 15 years ago, who the fuck are you? Do I know you? What the fuck do you want? Are you a fucking perv? And get off, or I'd get my fucking ex to fucking smash you in with a knife or something like that. You can't make friendship. Elsewhere, yeah, but not in the UK. And there are a few people in Germany that seem to be a bit funny as well. This is on dating sites. I don't use dating sites at the moment. I haven't used dating sites for quite a while, for months in fact. It's a waste of fucking time for all scammers, but I've been getting out. I've been literally going out most days to socialise. The problem is everyone's taken, even when they're a teenager or before the illegal age of consent in the UK, and they're all mothers by the age of 23. It's not making it very fucking easy at all. This includes the mentally disabled, including the very severe mentally disabled, but ones that can speak. If someone's sexual looking, of a sexual appearance type, they're taken as well. The only ones that seem to be single are the mentally ill, with the grubby sort of rough skin appearance, or a couple of the younger ones that are normal. But when it comes to people that everybody fancy, the smooth skin type, which the whole community's with, the whole fucking lot of them are taken. Transgender, they got the same restrictions as everyone else. The restrictions from prostitutes, the transgender, and the single ladies, they've all got that. They've all got the same restrictions. They hold the same restrictions against you as each and everyone else. You don't have a chance. You got 1 in a million chance. So in some ways it'd be like me speaking to Ella on the 14th of January, who liked me as a friend on that day, and that would be it. You've got to look out at the other next million now and see what there is out in the next million. And this is not very good at 45 years of age. No, at 45 years of age at the end of this year, when you've not had anyone in your whole life. I mean, even people that abused me as a child are younger than how were 20 years younger than what I am today, if not younger than that. Some of them at the time it happened. And actually, most of the people I'm being told to go with are uglier than people that abused me as a child. That's not going to solve any fucking problems at all. So there's only a few things that can work out on why this Ella's turned. Or she only went that one day. One, she didn't really like me, and she was an angel in disguise from the demonic. which could be connected to Christ, meaning Christ is the devil. Not a nice thing to say, but I'm just working on a principle of a possibility, although I wouldn't have thought that. Secondly, it could have been because obviously the age or whatever, and as I mentioned earlier, because they say that the younger people are vulnerable even though they're legal age or whatever. Because obviously they recommend people between 37 and 50. For me, I'm not accepting that age. Not when I've never had anyone. I mean, not being funny, but all these people are telling me to go with old people, or telling me I'm a sick cunt if I don't go with... They've all been with teenagers, so they've got a fucking nerve to tell me that, haven't they? They've been doing that all my life. Each and every other person out there. So, there's quite serious names I mentioned earlier in the year that are turned against me. There's one lady, aged 24, named Just in Time. That was her name on the internet. Well, that's the same name as me, and I've actually been nicknamed Just in Time by someone connected to the New Age scene. That's a really friendly person, but I haven't seen her since I moved to Yeovil, because it's more connected to my dad's side of the family, or friends to that side of the family, if you get what I'm saying. But obviously I haven't seen my dad for 3 years. But sorry, I haven't gone to Axbridge for 3 years, sorry. So I haven't seen but I have saw him in the last 2 and a bit years or something like that, because he came to Yeovil and we went for a drive around, had a quick chat for an hour and that. But as far as phone calls go, I've not even spoken on the phone for about when I started sleeping outside, because it was getting very hot in my place in Burnley, but at the same time I was doing it for pleasurable things as well, to try and enjoy life the best I can, or to try and find new friends, or in the same as I was like sleeping rough outside or in a tent or whatever, of a specific time period of I'm not quite sure when I started doing it, in June, July, right through until the end of October. There's a couple of nights I stayed at mine, but not many. I wasn't suicidal or anything like that. I was just trying to think of new ways or new possibilities, like, going different places, trying to socialise, going to but the problem is, although I came across all those new people that I mentioned, being single, each and one of those people that I came into friendship with are either fleeting friends that you know for just one day, or on the bus for one day, and you never see them again, and then you find out they're all in relationships. Each and every single person I've known in my life, and on the internet as it currently stands on the 23rd of the 8th, 2026, everything is through. Whatever happens, the very few that aren't, if any, I think it's just Ella, actually. There's legal age consent that's not a mother, or been made pregnant, but I can't guarantee that either. How the people I know will know right from my whole life. So, if anyone knows any replacements to all these mistakes, when I say that it might not be possible for that person, or it's fallen through, yeah, it's possible. Obviously she's going to be a bit more stale if she splits up, but the likelihood is the mistake's going to happen, like it has with everybody else. So it's got to be replaced, it's got to be a new person. Doesn't matter what age a person is, as long as it's a sexual looking appearance I can fancy. because obviously I'm not going with an ugly person when I've been abused, because I'm not going to be able to enjoy sex with an ugly person. And in most cases their accent matches their figure and their interests matches their... Obviously people can't see this, but it does. But there are a few people that have different spirits in different bodies, different accents, but not many. Even though people just say, look into the person differently. I've got like that. I'm not psychic, but I've got that sense. I can work it out. Don't tell me I'm fucking stupid. Yeah, so anyone single in the UK, if it's not in the UK, you're going to have to pay the cost to come over, but I don't mind doing a favour on the other side, as long as you're genuine. Because too many people have tried scamming me. Nearly every person I've spoken to, at least 400 people have tried scamming me, or have scammed me, since November last year. A waste of fucking time. So any genuine people do try and get in touch again. Because literally I'm outnumbered, can't do nothing. When they're all in relationships. I mean, I've got to go with a stale person, I'm not happy about that. Because all my enemies went with a fresh person that's never been, I've got no choice in the matter. There is no choice in that. I won't forgive God for this, never. Because the way he's planned my life in this sick fucking way. And take into account all the trouble I've had in my life, 99% of all problems has always been on sexuality, all the threats, the millions of threats I've had. Because it is in the millions, yeah. I mean, going back, what was it? The recording that got lost because police came in to arrest me on the Communications Act. I think it's 2008. What happened was I recorded 1 minute and 12 seconds. I think there's 100 something threats in 1 minute and 12 seconds I had on a specific recording, and the police weren't happy about it because I put it on YouTube. Anything from breaking into injecting HIV, you name it, is all that crap. So yeah, so I lost that specific recording, unfortunately, but it's one of the bestest recordings I've ever recorded. And that was on Valentine's Day as well, the night time of Valentine's Day 2008. And there's a couple of 9th of June recordings as well, but I lost those ones, or the ones that I did have. There'd be somewhere in my Deep Depression Life Story pack if that section of the pack never got lost, or got lost on like hard drive before I had time to save it onto there. But most of my Life Story pack is on there, even though there's 6 months here and there that is missing. And usually it's the worstest stuff in that time period which is missing from the fucking my Life Story packs, but there's nothing I can do about it. You can't help what goes missing, or if you haven't got the data saved all backed up. Yeah, when it came to this Ella, because I knew what was going on in that specific time period, I full up a hard drive of all this stuff, about 57 gigabytes, and I can't remember how many gigabytes it is, of data of photographic evidence, audio recordings, problems, photographs going out right since basically 2005. So I put it to a hard drive. This goes to about, I think it was after April. It's when I knew that, it was when all this music started unfolding, the suggestion you're going with Ella and stuff like that, and all what I just mentioned right through this recording. It started getting serious when I knew it was already through and already put through for future, for future possibilities. I knew it was put through permanently, even if anything did happen or there were changes in the future. So I filled up the hard drive and I posted it to the Central Intelligence Agency in America. And the good news is, on that specific hard drive that I posted, it did get received. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, so obviously they haven't got the latest, even though the suggestion of this is coming back like wildfire, this Hello Business. But there will be an update drive, I guess, or a USB stick with some information on it. Yeah, the other thing I want to mention is the last 4 days. Well, I've been going Glastonbury a couple of times last week or whatever, failing to get readings or whatever, because no one did. There's one specific reading I had, which was just a cheap tarot reading, and I was not very happy, because basically they're saying they're going to get a man who's a bit older than me, and the suggestion or the name that they suggested has got the same name as someone that abused me as a child. I'm not saying what the name is, but yeah, so I thought, yeah, this is a very good reading, isn't it? So because of that, over the last 4 days I decided to see if I can get one online. But the first two that I paid, the first one I paid refunded me, but give me no reason why they refunded me, or she refunded me. The second lady refunded me, and then paid for a third one, and she refunded me saying that she's not doing readings at the moment, so can't even get a psychic reading either at this minute in time without being messed about. So but like I said, if there's anyone that's Asian, that's not a mother, it might have to be a transgender, yeah, in the UK, smooth appearance, fuck the age gap, fuck the age, please get in touch, because there's no way I'm going to get anyone otherwise, because people are too fucking stupid in the UK. And if you want to contact me, just put in on Facebook, you have like http:// and then the username, and type that in for Facebook. Or I don't think you can send a link on YouTube. You can go on my channel, in fact. I don't know if it'll come up actually, I don't know, because they've had to lock one of my channels because someone tried hacking it and trying to, but someone going back, someone reported all my posts, about 70 posts on one channel, and I had to get it back. I'm going to use some ID, and also on my family account I nearly lost that as well. That one was more in danger than the other one that got reported. Although really negative posts got reported, I think they understood what was going on, the Facebook team, because they were doing it on sexuality when they or child explosion or whatever, exposure when it's not, but on 70 posts right across, and not just posts of writing, but music tracks from YouTube that I've put on there as well. The whole lot, it just went one after the other. Trying to think what alternatives there'll be. I'll give you a future, just in case there is any issues, I will give you a future channel. I'll write one down now for a future or an email address if you can't get one. Yeah, do it on email. Justintime 1981 langford@gmail.com. So if there's anyone single, contact me that way on my phone, because it's unlikely I'm going to change my number for a while, because I don't use a smartphone, you see, because I'll be wasting lots of connections for the internet, different payments, because when I'm out and about I'm always moaning about stuff, I've always got problems, and I haven't got time to piss about on a smartphone or a sex phone, because they were initially going to call them sex phones, because it's going to be a tool where everyone gets a girlfriend, but they found it politically incorrect in 2004 or 2003 area, So they mentioned it as being the future smartphone. Because on about the phone before its time. You had internet phones back at that time, mind. Right, so my phone number is 074 2585 3336. So I'll repeat that again to give you time to make a note. So if you pause it now and get a pen and paper, or get ready to type it out, and then I'll fire away with the details. Obviously on Facebook, it'd be better to email first, I reckon, because Facebook's never guaranteed. Right, so my phone number is 07 42 585 333 6. My email address is Justin, Justin, time, time, that's all one word, no capitals, 1981, Langford, Langford, all one word, at gmail.com. So if there's anyone brainy enough that's not stupid and is single, Asian preferably because they've got more intelligence, then please get in touch, because everything's been put through. I got to live the next year or so putting up with the media and music industry saying that I'm going with Ella when it's already through. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed by that. If it isn't, I'll be fucking shocked, but 99% it is. So if there's anyone out there, then please contact me. Yeah, cheers.